Signature English Podcast.
Brought to you by English Speaking Signature.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Signature English Podcast. I'm Silas, and I'm joined by my co-host, Zara.
Hi, everyone. It is so wonderful to be here with our community today.
Yeah, it really is. And, we have such an interesting deep dive lined up for you all today. But, before we get into the main source material, I actually had a moment this morning that just perfectly sets up our entire topic.
Oh, really? What happened this morning?
Okay, so I was at this cafe, right? And I was trying to order in a language I'm still, actively learning. And the barista asks me a super basic question, like really basic.
Right, something you've probably studied 100 times.
Exactly. But instead of just answering naturally, my brain just brought up this massive mental loading bar.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you mean by the loading bar.
Yeah, I just stood there. There was this specific, terrifying kind of silence. The conversation completely stopped. The barista's looking at me. And I was just trapped in that dreaded spotlight effect.
Yeah, that intense pressure where you feel like all eyes are on you.
Yes. And internally, I was frantically trying to draft the absolute perfect sentence. I was, checking the noun, conjugating the verb, second-guessing the preposition.
Doing the whole grammar checklist in your head.
Right. And by the time my mental loading bar finally hit 100%, the moment had entirely passed. The barista was already looking at the next customer, and I was just standing there with my flawless, unspoken sentence, feeling totally invisible.
Which is such a universal experience for our community. I mean, that moment of silence is dreaded by everyone. The pressure feels like an actual physical weight in the room.
It really does. You just feel so stuck.
But the paradox is that your mind is actually anything but blank in that silence. I mean, you are usually in a state of hyperactivity, right? Frantically trying to cross-reference every single word from your native language into English before you dare to let a sound out.
Exactly. It's an exhausting way to communicate. And, our mission for this deep dive today is to master the art of thinking directly in a non-native language, specifically English, of course.
Right. We are unpacking the mechanics of moving away from those exhausting translation habits and stepping into true spontaneous fluency.
Yeah, and the sources we are looking at today argue that what happened to me at the cafe, it wasn't a failure of intelligence.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't even a lack of vocabulary.
No, not at all. It was a mechanical failure in how you were processing the information. Because to fix this, we really have to stop treating language like a math equation.
Yes, the math equation. The guide refers to this as the Perfectionism Trap.
Right, because it is a trap. Traditional education completely ingrained this flaw in us.
Right. I mean, in school, we are